afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get set for today's race from Phoenix International Raceway, race number 16 of the season. We are getting set to go racing for 47 laps, and I know that this whole entire race weekend there was that announcement that NNSCRA officials were going to be having this race running caution-free. Well, that's actually been changed. It actually still will be run with cautions here today. I think that maybe yesterday's race for the Pizza Hut X Series maybe changed their mind to think maybe these drivers will settle down and we won't be in for a wreck fest, so cautions will count today in this event. Benjamin Miles will line up on the pole. Talk about a guy who needs a good run. This guy has been mired way down in the cellar of the point stands. He's 34th of the 35 chartered rides. His average finish this season, 26th place, only one top 10 finish. Little bit of luck needs to come the way of that Napa Dodge Dart as he's trying to not only win but also trying to get into the chase for the championship. We've already documented his problems last year with trying to get into the chase when he was a two-time winner that year. And he will start alongside of J Bryant, who's already found victory lane this season at Dover. Behind them, J Shelton, the defending winner last week when we were at the High Banks of Darlington Raceway. She'll roll off from third. Z Flickinger still looking for his first win of the season, as is Dylan Young, rolling off from the 5th position. Interesting coming into this race as far as former winners. Last week, J Shelton became the first two-time winner at Darlington. Well, a driver comes into today's race at Phoenix with back-to-back wins at this very track. Back in Season 1, Jeremy Jones went to victory lane. He's not in this field, but the driver that won Season 2 and last year at Season 3 at this very speedway is in this field. That is the 76 of Zachary Fitzwater. Can he go for the trifecta 3 races in a row here in the desert? We are going to have to wait and find out. Let's go down trackside and get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
As the command is given, these drivers will complete a pace lap, and while they do that, we'll give you the point standings coming to this race. We have a new points leader atop the standings. Anthony McCrury is now the new points leader after Darlington. He holds a 13-point advantage over former points leader Dylan Poteet. James McCloud there in third, 15 points back. So still pretty close between McCrury, Poteet, and McCloud. Joshua Michael still the highest running non-winner this season. He's 4th in the points. Trent Dunham 5th. Levi McIntyre is 6th. John Arndt 7th. Cody Llamas 8th. Zachary Fitzwater in 9th. And Brandon Gonzales completes the top 10. After her win last week, J Shelton jumped up to 13th in the point standings. So in good shape right now, if she can just keep the consistency up of making her, I believe, 3rd straight Hershey's Cup Series chase for the championship. Other drivers that are outside the top 10 in points that have a win this season right now locked into the chase. If the season were to end right now, Charles Sandfer, J Bryant, G Sydnor, M Haas, and L Alvarise is 29th in points coming into this race, so he really needs a good run here today to get himself away from that danger zone. 3 wide back there already. That's Anthony McCrury, the points leader there in the middle. Not sure if I were the points leader coming into this race, I'd want to be making a move like that, but he is. He's stuck in the middle between K Batson and Dallas McIntosh as they head into 3. Benjamin Miles out in front showing the way. And are we going to complete the first lap under green? Hallelujah, glory be, it's a miracle. We completed the first lap under green flag conditions here at Phoenix. And of course, I didn't mention this, but of course we have stage racing here today. 15 laps for the first stage, 15 laps for the second stage, and a final 17 laps for the third and final stage. This battle for second continues on here. Shelton on the bottom, J Bryant up top. Looks like Shelton may clear him here off of 4, so she'll move to the second position. JT falls back into third, but look at this, going to try and battle back on that high side. We saw yesterday in the Pizza Hut X Series race how that high side gets a good run off of 2 and 4. And now JT Bryant going to have to give way, and now he'll fall maybe into the clutches of his teammate Dylan Young, who's now moved to third. Oh boy, that was a little close back here. Anthony McCrury still stuck in the middle. Almost made some contact with the 42 of Blaine Keys, and that very nearly could have been a wreck up here at the front of the field. McCrury, I think, kind of regretting he went into that middle line. They are trying to go around him on both sides of the racetrack. He's still holding his own now, and now he might be able to tuck down in front of Dallas McIntosh. He will. So finally, that 3-wide situation settles itself back out to a double wide formation. Oh, and as soon as I say that, now Baskinger will go up the middle, trying to get by Z Flickinger. Baskinger has been on a good run as of late, had some really consistent finishes, 16th in points, but the driver who's the only one to make every single chase so far this season, or this series, I should say, in the Hershey's Cup. Still looking for his first win this year to be able to make it 4 straight seasons where he's taken part in the Hershey's Cup Series chases. We got a battle going on here, and that battle may be over. Third place position going to change hands. Blaine Keys to the inside of J Bryant. And he will maybe complete the pass out of 2. I'm noticing here in this race, as opposed to the Pizza X Series race, inside line out of 2 gets a little bit more bite. That outside line out of 4 still gets a good run, but the outside line doesn't quite hook up quite as well out of 2 as it did in yesterday's event. Benjamin Miles, though, out in front, and I think that what Benjamin Miles is hoping today is almost maybe a little bit of deja vu of what happened in the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race here a couple of days ago, where it was kind of a wreck fest. Jonathan Zoerlein led every single lap, whether it be under green or under caution, and came away with the victory. Benjamin Miles, I mean, think about it. 34th out of 35 charter drivers. If he can win all 3 stages today, plus go to victory lane, that's pretty much a total of 77 points he's going to get here today. Only problem is, one thing I do know is these drivers cannot make it the full 47 laps on 1 tank of fuel, so they are going to have to pit at some point during this race. So the likelihood of Benjamin Miles leading every lap is slim to none, but maybe if the pit stops fall in place in the right area, maybe Benjamin Miles will be able to possibly still lead all 3 stages. I don't think Benjamin Miles has won a stage yet this entire season. Blaine Keys changed for second. He will move by Jessica Shelton. Blaine Keys was a former chaser last season. His win last year coming at a road course, Gravity City Industrial Zone. Still looking for his first win this year. His teammate Trent Dunham has already found victory lane. Dunham and Keys were the 2 representatives for Sega Motorsports last season in the chase for the championship. And it looks like Blaine Keys may be catching Benjamin Miles a little bit better than Shelton was. So we could have a battle for the lead on our hands momentarily. Oh boy, Miles slipped up a little there in 3 and 4. Blaine Keys going to get a big run here, and yeah, we're going to have a battle for the lead here momentarily, which makes this very important because within about 4 laps, that's going to be the end of this first stage, and some drivers going to get 10 valuable bonus points. I mentioned Miles really wants to get them, but Blaine Keys equally wants to get those bonus points. He's had a solid outing last week at Darlington, moved up 9 spots in the points to be 21st coming into this race, and there we go, the battle for the lead is on. Blaine Keys. We saw this in the Pizza Hut X Series race here yesterday too. Some drivers better on the short run, but as the run goes on, some drivers really step it up in the longer runs, and Blaine Keys appears to be one of those long run setup cars as he is hounding Benjamin Miles for that race lead. Benjamin Miles, I would, even though this is early on this race, I would definitely try and go on the defensive, try throwing some blocks, try and do a little something different to stop Blaine Keys because, I mean, look at the situation you're in, 34th in points. You want to get those 10 valuable bonus points, and right there you can see that outside line off of 4, serving Benjamin Miles well. He keeps trying that middle to high line through 1 and 2. That's not really helping him so much. And Blaine Keys drives it deep into the corner in 3. Miles able to get the bite off the corner on the high side. Let's see if they do it again. Miles goes to the middle groove. Keys drives it deep. And there you can see a nice smoother and straighter exit for Benjamin Miles. So Blaine Keys has caught Benjamin Miles, but Miles now taking that outside line away from Blaine Keys is helping him to be able to maintain and hold on to the race lead, at least for the moment. So Blaine Keys has got to figure out something different if he's going to get around that 25 car, and he's only got about a lap and a half left to be able to do something if he's going to get those 10 bonus points away from Benjamin Miles. Drives it deep in there again. Miles going to try and drive it off the high side. Miles looked to get a little bit loose there. He'll lead that lap, but this could be interesting. Next time by, it is the completion of the first stage. Miles Tries to drive it off the high side. Blaine Keys will have to give way. This could be another photo finish coming to the line this time if Keys can get the run. No, I don't think he can. He's gonna try it. Pulls alongside. Hasn't got him cleared. Miles gonna try and bat back on the high side. Who's gonna get those 10 bonus points? It's Blaine Keys on the bottom. He may not have gotten the clearing on the 25, but he got him at the line, and now he will clear him for the race lead. So Blaine Keys will win the first stage here at Phoenix. What a battle that was there at the close of the first stage. So now Blaine Keys out in front. Benjamin Miles finds himself back in second place. Shelton there in third. Baskinger running right now in fourth. Fifth place is in a good battle. Dylan Young trying to take it from teammate J Bryant. Got Keith Batson in this group, along with Kyle Mathews, Caitlin Tsang, and Cole Baker. Caitlin Tsang, of course, now a chartered ride for CJ Racing. Last week, she worked her way up to 38 in the point standings with her finish at Darlington. And if I can work the calculator here real quick, if you will bear with me as we continue to watch this battle going on for the fifth spot. Looks like Dylan Young might be in control of it now. Caitlin Tsang, at this point, has cut down the amount of ground that she has to get between her and 30th. She has cut it down to 253 points. And that is with roughly, would that be about 11 races left in the season? Keep running these consistent races, maybe it's still possible. The driver, amazingly enough, that she's trying to run down that's 30th in the points is this driver we're looking at right here, Dylan Young. He's 30th in points. Hartnett 31st in points as he dropped out of the top 30 last week. Johnny Gardner 32nd, Chris Dodd 33rd, Benjamin Miles 34th, and Joseph Srigley right now 35th in the point standings as they run. One driver who's fallen outside the top 10 is Anthony McCrury. There he is. McCrury last time by was scored in the 13th position. We saw him stuck in the middle early on. Well, the points leader has dropped outside the top 10. The good news for him, though, is that the Tweenix Racing boys not running too much better. There's James McCloud right now running in the 15th position. And I saw Dylan Poteet up here not too long ago, but he has recently dropped back. There he is, now mired down in the 24th position. So, Poteet seeming to fade back, McCloud fading a little. There's Levi McIntyre, 6th in points. Cody Llamas right behind him. A couple of drivers that are in the top 10 in the standings, along with Joshua Michaels, all winless this year, still looking for their first win. And they're going to go 3 wide back here. Boy, oh boy, that is close quarter racing. Cody Llamas had 2 tires actually down on the yellow line. He made it work. He not only got by McIntyre and Michaels, but now he's going to battle with James McCloud. So that was actually a really good move by Cody. It's like that car is starting to actually come to life here as this race progresses on. Cole Baker's another driver in the last couple of weeks that the finishes have really picked up. Former chaser last season, last year's Hershey's Cup Series Rookie of the Year, battling right now with a current Rookie of the Year contender in Caitlin Tsang. Baker has worked his way up now in the standings to 17th, picked up 4 spots after last week's race at Darlington. And how about J Arndt? Good run right now for the Zaxby's Chevrolet. Had a solid outing last week at Darlington and having another solid outing here at Phoenix. This has definitely been a career season for J Arndt out of AS Racing. 7th in the point standings coming into this race. Defending champion Kyle Mathews trying to catch up to these guys to get himself into the top 10. Mathews coming into this race is 26th in the point standings. Did not have a good showing last week at Darlington, despite the fact that his teammate Jessica Shelton found victory lane. Mathews still looking for his first win of the season to get himself into the chase for the championship. Right behind him, we talked about L Alvarise, former winner this season. needed a good run today to get himself away from that danger zone of 30th in the standings. He's 29th in points coming into this race. Well, right now he is running just outside of the top 10. He's about to lose, I believe that's the 12th spot to Cody Llamas, so drop him back now to 13th. Actually, he's going to try and battle back on the high side, and he may clear Cody. I think he will hang on to 12th, at least for the moment. Look at this. 3 wide. This is for the 3rd position. Baskinger, Shelton, and Dylan Young. Ooh, careful. Shelton, the only one of these drivers that has a trip to victory lane, so she can, and I say this in quotes, afford a bad finish. And now the pit stops begin. Blaine Keys has given up the lead. He's coming to pit road. Kyle Mathews is in. Keith Batson is in. I think McCrury came to pit road. J Bryant. There's Fitzwater, who won the last 2 outings here at Phoenix. He's in, along with Sean Gallighan and Trent Dunham. And that turns the race lead over to Benjamin Miles. And we're getting close to the end of this 2nd stage, so this could be a money stop as Baskinger is in. Shelton, Dylan Young, Caitlin Tsang, John Arndt, Cole Baker, Levi McIntyre in the lead now. Gets turned over, I believe. It was a battle between Cody Llamas and L Alvarise, and it was Cody who led the lap, and he will clear Alvarise, so Cody Llamas. And the Dodge Darta of NW Racing now will lead a lap. So both drivers out of NW Racing have led a lap today at Phoenix. And now Cody. Looks like he's going to come to pit road. Alvarise follows. McIntosh in as well. Chelsea Bowles, Dougie Shears, Charles Sandfer, Matt Haas, Joseph Srigley, James Richardson, Tim Walch. They're all in. We saw Blaine Keys bypassing everybody there. We'll have to see if he cycles around as the race leader or not. I'm not sure he's going to. Oh, maybe he will. Yeah, actually, I think he might. He'll be the race leader over Benjamin Miles. Baskinger will now jump up to 3rd, and Kyle Mathews looks like he'll be up to 4th. And now he's going to try and go for 3rd place off of Baskinger. They're showing Alvarise as the race leader, but Alvarise has yet to come off pit road. Cody Llamas, McIntosh, all those drivers still on the pit lane. I believe the lead will cycle around to Blaine Keys, who's got himself a big lead at the moment. And at the next time around, will win the 2nd stage of this race. Crosses the line, and indeed he is the leader. 2nd place is now Kyle Mathews. 3rd is Benjamin Miles. 4th is Baskinger. 5th is Keith Batson. Shelton now back to 6th. 7th is Caitlin Tsang. 8th, J Bryant. 9th, John Arndt. 10th place right now would be, I believe, Dylan Young, with Llamas in 11th and Baker in 12th. Chelsea Bowles currently in 13th with Jordan Lopez in 14th. A couple of non-charter cars is Blaine Keys. He's crossed the line, and he will win the 2nd stage. So he is currently 2 for 2 in winning the stage races here today. How interesting. They were thinking we were going to run without any cautions today here at Phoenix. And so far, we've run 31 of these 47 laps without a caution flag anyway. So now comes the question, Kyle Mathews with that pit stop, now can he reel in Blaine Keys for the race lead? That time by, he cut it down by about 2/10. With about 16 laps to go, and 2/10, he would, according to the calculations, catch Blaine Keys at this pace with about 2 laps to go. And that was the only pit stop they're going to have to make. The last thing Blaine Keys wants to see is a caution, because that would bunch everybody back up. And Mathews again, another 2/10, closing in on the 42 car. Benjamin Miles running in the 3rd position now. He seems to be losing touch with both Blaine Keys and Kyle Mathews, so just trying to hang on for 3rd place. I mean, if he can't win the race, top 5 finish, I don't think he will turn his nose up at that. It'd be his first one this season, believe it or not. Battle for 4th is on. Lincoln of Keith Batson to the inside of J Baskinger, and if this doesn't settle out, that's going to bring Jessica Shelton into the mix as well to make it a 3-way fight for that 4th position. And they might be reeling Benjamin Miles in as well, so it could be 3 or a 4-car fight for 3rd momentarily. as Mathews continues to chip away at Blaine Key's lead. And the thing I got to think about that is I believe Mathews came to pit road 1 lap later than Blaine Keys did. Keys was the first one to dive to pit road. He started the trend. And so I think Mathews may be able to push it a little bit harder on his set of tires than Blaine Keys is. Still continuing that pace of 0.2 every lap is Kyle Mathews. Trying to catch Blaine Keys, the defending champion, trying to reel in a former chaser last season, and he has cut it down to less than 2 seconds. He is still on track of catching Blaine Keys with 2 laps to go. If he continues this up, 0.2 every lap. See if he does it again. Obviously, Kyle Mathews and that team set him up for the long run. At the line, 1.64, 0.2 again chipped off. So Blaine Keys has to be notified at this point by his spotter that the 09 Kings Island Chevrolet is faster than his U.S. Army Chevrolet, and these two may come down to battling for this win. At the line this time, it is 10 laps to go. And that time, 0.3 of a second, Kyle Mathews closed it up by. He may catch him before 2 to go. He may have about 4 laps to be able to work on the U.S. Army Chevrolet. Now, here's the interesting question, though. If he catches him, which line does he take? Blaine Keys right now running the middle groove. Mathews is running the same line. So Blaine Keys, being the leader, is going to have the advantage of determining which line he's going to run. Mathews is going to have to try something different. Another 0.3 cut down between himself and the race leader, Blaine Keys. We're following this, even though there's some battling going on back there for 4th place. Let's actually follow that real quick. Oh, that battling is gone. Battle between some teammates going on now. That's for the 7th spot. J Arndt to the inside of J Baskinger. How about Jordan Lopez? Great run there for the 45 car. Started at the rear of the field after qualifying his way in via the non-charter event here 2 days ago, and he's up inside the top 10 right now in the 10th position, trying to hold off fellow rookie K Tsang for that position. All the Young Motorsports cars having good runs today. J Bryant in 6th, Dylan Young in 9th, and Levi McIntyre back there. I think he's currently scored in the 13th position, so good run for all of them. And now it's less than a second separation, so we're going to jump back up to the front here. Both drivers in the same shot now, Blaine Keys and Kyle Mathews. And I think a big thing that's helped Kyle Mathews these last couple laps is he's been able to get the draft off of the 42 on the straightaways. That has helped him to be able to close up the distance. And if he can get the draft on a straightaway, he could use that momentum to slingshot into either turns 1 or turn 3. Last time by was 0.7. I'll bet it's about maybe 0.3 this time. No, just about 0.5. Kyle Mathews taking his time. He knows he's got a couple of laps to be able to work with here. Ran a little bit lower through 1 and 2 there than Blaine Keys did, so maybe testing the waters on the bottom to see if his car can hold that spot if he tries making the move. Look at this. Now right up on the back bumper of Blaine Keys. Drives it in deep. Can he get the run off the corner, though? Tries to stick alongside. Keys gets the run on the high side. Mathews may have to give way this time. Tries the bottom again, this time in 1 and 2. Blaine Keys gets back to the throttle a little sooner, it looks like. Mathews trying to at least keep to the left rear to be able to drive it deep into 3. He's going to try it about a groove lower than Blaine Keys. Oh, got tight off that corner, and I don't think he's even going to get alongside this time. Nope, Blaine Keys has him cleared. Mathews trying it, though. That's what he's got to do, because Keys is not going to give up the top. He's not going to allow Kyle Mathews the opportunity to get that high side run. It looks like Kyle Mathews just going to try and ride for the moment, wait for his opportunity. Set himself up. Once again, not going to do it here in 3 and 4. He doesn't want to wait too long, but he does have 3 more laps at his disposal. Look at this, going to try it again, this time in 1 and 2. Drives it a half groove lower, tries to get to to the left rear. Can't do it quite this time. Still down there low, so he may try dive bombing here into 3 and 4. Oh, look at this! Almost made a little contact. Diamonds the corner. Nicely done. Can he clear Blaine Keys off the corner? I think he did. Nice diamonding there through 3 and 4, but still Blaine Keys battles high and now has to give it up. Mathews to the point. What a move by Mathews. Took his time, waited for the moment, made the beautiful move there in 3 and 4. He's out in front, and now Blaine Keys will have to try and battle back here, but he's only got 1 lap left to do it. White flag displayed, this time one more time around Phoenix. Mathews made the move, and he has 2 car lengths in hand between himself and Blaine Keys, and Keys is not closing the distance. Mathews is beginning to pull away. Kyle Mathews gonna make it back-to-back race weekends where a Retro Racing Enterprises car goes to victory lane, and as a matter of fact, for the first time since Season 2, Retro Racing Enterprises will have the sweep for their team. All 3 drivers go to victory lane. Defending champ Kyle Mathews wins here today at Phoenix International Raceway. And we have to go all the way back to Season 2 when Anthony McCrury made the chase for the championship to defend his title. It was unsuccessful, but from Season 2 to Season 3, Chris Dodd did not make the chase. And now Season 3 to Season 4, the defending champion Kyle Mathews, who came into this race as we documented 26th in points. He's now found victory lane. He's just got to be consistent the rest of the season, and Kyle Mathews will try and begin the road to become the first ever repeat winner, or repeat champion, I should say, in the Hershey's Cup Series. How about that? Came down to about 3 to go in that battle for the win. Blaine Keys, boy, I bet he wished this race was about 5 laps shorter in length than it was. He'll have to settle for second today. Almost completed the stage sweep today as he won the first 2 stages. Jessica Shelton will make it a 1-3 finish for the Retro Racing Enterprises drivers. A solid follow-up run after her win last week at Darlington. How about Jordan Lopez? Great run for him. Highest finishing rookie of the race. And he will finish out in the top 5. J Bryant will finish in 5th. Benjamin Miles, good outing for him nonetheless, regardless of the fact that he didn't win and the fact that he didn't win any stage points as far as the 10 stage points. He still got stage points today. I think he finished in the top 10 in all 3 stages, but that'll help him in his quest to get out of the top 30 cellar, the 34th position. Keith Batson, great run for him. That's another driver we really didn't talk about today that's actually been stepping up his finishes as of late. I mean, Batson finds himself currently situated in the 25th position in points, which is a far cry better than where he was at the beginning of the season. John Arndt finishes the day out in 8th. Cody Llamas and Levi McIntyre will finish in 9th and 10th, so they will stay in the top 10 in the points with their runs today. Dylan Young gets 11th, 12th for J Baskinger, 13th Cole Baker, Dougie Shears gets 14th, Caitlin Sang in 15th, and the rest of your top 20 were Zach Flickinger, Dallas McIntosh, Charles Sandfer, Chelsea Bowles, and James McCloud, third in the points, finishes in 20th here today. Points leader Anthony McCrury finished down in 27th, and second in points Dylan Poteet finished all the way down in the 37th position. Also having a poor run today was Trent Dunham, 40th, for the guy who came in 5th in the point standing. So we could have a point shakeup here today. One driver we didn't see up at the front at all was the driver who came in with 2 straight wins at this track, Zachary Fitzwater. He'll finish 22nd in today's race. Joshua Michaels, 36th. Boy, there really were nobody in the top 5 in the points today that had a good run. The drivers that were 6th on down did have good runs, so we could have some swapping for position in the point standings heading into next week's race based off of what happened here today. Johnny Gardner, K Tellier, nobody finished off the lead lap. We ran the entire event caution-free, which is so ironic since NNSCRA was going to run this race caution-free anyway and then changed their mind last minute, and it still ended up being a caution-free race. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in to today's race from Phoenix. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We have shown your full fissure results, and up next you will see your rookie points as well as your overall point standings heading into next week. Next week we're going to be heading to a track that back in the Snickers Cup Series was the regular season finale track, but it's now just a regular stop here on the Hershey's Cup Series schedule. We're going to another 1.5 mile racetrack, Arizona Speedway. So we're sticking here in the state of Arizona. We've raced Phoenix, and now we go to Arizona Speedway. So these drivers won't have far to travel, and they'll be able to get a lot of valuable practice time in before race time next weekend. K Mathews picks up his first win of the season. The defending champion looks to defend his title this season, as that may have been his ticket in the chase for the championship. We will see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.